Hey Rick, how are you doing on a Saturday?
Good morning and welcome to Cafe B, everyone.
Yes, Cafe B. By the way, Frank also said I probably shouldn't have offered $1 million to anybody who guesses what the B stands for. But of course, we know that they can't. It's an impossibility. Plus, it was just a little promotional fun thing. I've only got a couple million. I can't spare half of my fortune. But
I told
anyways,
and of course, it's no one's got it right. I mean, we put out the offer on last week for Cafe B, and they still don't have it right.
nope,
So
they're guessing all kinds of shit, and
mhm.
nobody's even close. So
My favorite was B stands for A.
I like that.
It's a
That's
good
really
one,
great.
like a couple of a holes. It's
or
about
or blow it out your ass.
any of the above.
But
Well,
that's
Mark, you get to say the cafe is open. And
that's
what?
5 words. It can't stand for 5 words. Cafe's open, everybody. Irreverence has come in the door. I felt it.
I felt it too. And when you were doing the countdown earlier, I smiled just on one. Three, two, one. We're here. Oh my God! Let's talk about the death that happened this week. Big death.
No, Rick, I got an intro. I got to
Okay, I want to
First of
talk.
all, I have a new iPhone. Anyways, my iPhone's been on the show before, but this is a new one because some shit stole my iPhone from a men's room. Pun intended. Frank and I went to Yonkers Raceway last Sunday, and I keep it on a belt because I got it in an OtterBox. I don't want it in my pocket, so I've always kept it in a belt holster. And I've had phones for years and never lost them. But what fingers, man!
My hand
Wow. Somebody's happy. But
adjustment.
I left it in the men's stall. I took it. Should we? Is this okay that I say these things?
I'm rolling, baby. You're talking about
Okay.
the bathroom and the phone.
Yeah,
Yep.
I left it on top of the toilet paper thing, And I walked out. I forgot it, and I went. I was at a slot machine, and I said, "Oh my God, my phone's gone." So I went back to the men's room, and it was gone. Nobody turned it in to Lost and Found. Nobody did the right thing. This happened one other time at the theater, and I'm telling you, it's a different crowd. The theater crowd is not the casino crowd. Whoever took my phone at the casino also immediately turned it off.
Oh no.
Right, so you can't trace it. And
Ah, had that new protection on iOS 7 or something. I don't
that's
understand, but
beyond me. I can't deal with that stuff. But anyways, we tried to track it. It was off. Turned the service off. Fortunately it was insured. I recommend everybody to pay the dollar or whatever it is a month to insure your phone because a new phone would have cost me $600-700. This one was 170 with insurance. So anyways, that was my drama for last Sunday. And my hat. Remember the hats every week. Can you
oh
read
yeah,
it?
where's that?
It's Lewis.
I don't know where that is.
It's Lewis, Delaware. It's on the other side of the water from Cape May, New Jersey. And when Frank and I go to Delaware twice a year to visit our lovely friends, who you're going to meet in 2 weeks at the big blowout.
Oh yeah, 2 weeks from today. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, we meet them there, and Kathy and her husband and some others. But anyways, so we take the ferry. We drive to Cape May, New Jersey, and we take the ferry across. I love the ferry, and this is a hat from the Lewis side.
Nice.
And
And the cafe
the
and
cafe's open.
continues to be
Who's
open.
who's going to bring up the dead
Well,
guy?
it's perfect time. You're talking about, you two are two men that were married, and guess what? We don't have to worry about a boycott of your wedding celebration next Saturday because he's dead.
Well, his
He
church is
is
alive.
well, his church is alive. Yeah, and there's some discussion. We're talking about that guy. I don't even know
Fred
his name.
Phelps.
Fred Phelps, dead. Lots of hustle and bustle, different opinions about it from the gay community, the straight community, the Christian community, the non-Christian community. What's your thoughts?
My thoughts. First of all, I agree with our friend Stephanie Mott, writer for LGBTSR.org and Huffington Post, and I love Stephanie. She's just really one of my favorite people. But she was quoted in the media because she's from Kansas, Topeka, and
Topeka, where he's from.
she talked about taking the high road, and I agree with her. First of all, I paid no attention to him when he was alive. I certainly don't care that he died. But I'm not. I don't have any hardness in my heart. I think he was an extremely damaged man. I think his hatred came from rage. I have no idea what was going on in his heart and soul and mind. But he was poisonous, and I mean, the person he poisoned himself most was himself. So I don't care that it doesn't matter to me, and I'm not going to say it vicious. Not, I'm not referring to you, but there's a lot of vicious comments out there about him now that he's dead, and first of all, I don't care, and secondly, I don't need that toxicity in my system. He's
Yeah.
gone. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there is. There's been a lot written about him from day one, and there's some discussion actually. Open up Facebook, was doing a quick little roll this morning to see what was hot, and one of my pastors here in Shreveport actually posted about. And I didn't know this. I guess I kind of saw it because I'm like you. I never gave him a lot of credit at first when he came out. And you heard about him, I'd get pissed. I'd hear I say how wrong. Protesting the connection between military funerals and gay rights. None of it made sense to me. I mean, the man was kind of ill, but apparently in the last days of his life, he tried to be at peace with his church and talk to his church about showing some kindness to each other. And then he was excommunicated from his church months before he died. So they don't really talk much about what the excommunication is. But I guess where I'm different, he's a fucking bigot. Let him go. He's gone. I'm glad he's gone. Hopefully the church will be gone before you know it. There's a lot of progress with the Rainbow Church or the Rainbow House opening across the street to kind of combat that kind of negativity and hate. But I'm a disagreement. I mean, I agree in spirit and soul with Stephanie and others who basically, David Mixter included, previous guest of ours on LGBTSR, to say, hey, let it go, let peace, let's not fight hate with hate. I agree with all of that. And when someone's sick, you should never wish them ill well. But I will say, let's call a spade and say he was a sick, mean-spirited man, and I am glad he's gone. That's all.
That's all, and that's fine. I don't disagree with you.
Changing subject.
No, we're not. I'm not done yet because
I'm sorry, continue.
For one thing, in a very perverse way, he did us a favor because his hatred was so vicious and poisonous
Yes.
that they boycotted military funerals. It was I think to some extent in some areas it shined a light on just the irrationality of hating gay people. And God certainly doesn't hate faggots. I personally wouldn't think God hated anything, but so anyways, in a really weird way, he did us a service. His church was very small. He was kind of a marketing genius because his tiny little crappy shitty church sure got a lot of press. But there are people out there who when they die, I will be pleased. Like Scott Lively, I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, but there are evangelicals who have gone over to Africa and spread their poison and gotten the law passed in Uganda. Scott Lively, I'll applaud when he dies. I mean, I'll have some sort of non-alcoholic beverage to celebrate. Fred Phelps, he was a clown, like an angry, hateful, poisonous clown. There are people who do a lot more damage in this world, and I will not be so kind when they die.
And the media wanted to give him a lot of attention. He probably didn't deserve. I agree. All right. Cafe B. Speaking of all that, I don't know. That's just a quick comment. I'll ring the bell, move on, because I thought it was interesting. It was news out of Shreveport, where I call in from every week on this show, on our other show, which is Age to Perfection, LGBTSR. Anyway, they're trying to make the Bible the state book of Louisiana. It's a gentleman from Shreveport who's been working on it since 1988, and a representative that's put it today. I love that. I posted it on Facebook, and someone commented back, well, not to get into technicality, but the book wasn't even written by Americans. Your turn.
By the way, I think Fred has been listening because your video is like really pixelated crappy now, and your audio was no. I'm serious. I think Fred is not happy that we've been talking about him, but we're pushing on because it comes and goes. It's really Skype. I know it's if you're at home, it's not your reception. You got good reception there. I think Skype just acts up sometimes. But let's push forward. So it's my turn. Boycotting coffee shops. And this just happened last week. I don't know why it never occurred to me before, but I go to Gregory's Coffee Shop in New York. It's my favorite. I'm not a fan of Starbucks. Never have been.
Mid-East Side, yep, by your house.
But I go to Gregory's. They've got about a half a dozen locations. And I actually applied there when I was looking for work. I sent a really nice letter to Gregory because that's where the resumes go. And I even said you could use an older vibe, and I'm the person to bring it. So maybe some of what I felt last week was like, this motherfucker. But there's a lot of, they're all kids, man. Coffee shops are full of kids.
Never thought about that. You're right.
To me, they're kids. They're, they might be in their 20s, a lot of students. And I'm like, it looks hip, but I'm 55. I want to see somebody my age or older working in here. And so I said, I don't need to. I can make my own coffee. I don't need to keep spending money in coffee shops where uh, they don't hire older people. And then I posted about it on Facebook, and a couple people said, well, when you're your age, they've got better careers, this, that, and the other thing. And I said, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a lot of retirees who need the extra income. And the Giant grocery store is a comparison. When we shop at the Giant grocery store in New Hope, when we go to the house, we'll be there tomorrow morning. They hire a lot of old people. And I'm not talking about how they treat them or whether they give them benefits or not. I'm talking about the simple fact that when I walk into the Giant, I see a lot of retirees working there. I don't
Mm-hmm.
ask them if they're happy. I'm not talking about that. But they get jobs. And I know perfectly well that older people and retirees and people who have not been able to find jobs, which is really difficult when you're over 50, have applied there. I know they have, and I know it's a hiring decision. They're not going to even look at you unless they could put you on an ad and get the millennials in. And so I said, to hell with them. I'll just make my own coffee and save a lot of money.
That's
You have a snaggletooth working
true.
for
When
you.
you look at it, that
Did you hear me?
what? Who?
No, I'm applauding you because I know you're not like that. You have a
Oh,
snaggletooth working
oh
for
no,
you.
no. I've hired every. Yes, that's a whole other subject. I'm trying to think who was. I did hire a snaggletooth once,
The
but
cook.
who are you talking about? Oh, let's move on, shall
Oh,
we?
okay. Anyways, well, you hired him. Whatever happened, you hired him. He was there. And I know that you would hire another snaggletooth. Like, you wouldn't hesitate.
I would, and B moves on to think about two older women who got jobs recently. I don't know if you heard
I can't
the
hear
story,
you.
but
I can't hear you.
think
This
of the
is.
pairing of Jane Fonda. Can you hear me now, Mark?
Yeah, I can hear
Something
you. Jane Fonda and like
Lily
her
Tomlin.
grandmother, Lily Tomlin.
Yeah, they're back together, reunited by the woman Marta Kaufman who created Friends, which was for the millennials and kind of a whole movement of the younger hipster crowd. She's brought the two together, pitched it to Netflix. It's going to be a new series on Netflix, just like Orange is the New Black. It's called Grace and Frankie. Have you heard about the premise of the? Have you heard about its premise?
I only saw the headline. I'm so busy I don't read the news. You know that. But tell me. Fill me in.
Well, that's why this is great. I can tell you the news, and you don't have to read it, Mark. It's wonderful. I can translate the news for you. Grace and Frankie, contemporary story. Their husbands and what? Those two ladies will probably play characters that are in their 70s at least. Their two husbands fall in love, get married, and leave Grace and Frankie behind.
Oh, wow.
That's
I like
kind
that.
of different. Yeah, but once the premise is gone, the premise is gone, and they're on their own. But yeah, it's going to be a new Netflix series. Netflix has done well with House of Cards and Orange is the New Black and all that. So I think the show will do very, very well. Anyway,
Well, and by the way, Hot in Cleveland, which we watch quite a bit, is really
Betty.
just with Betty White. It's really just a new Golden Girls, except the Betty's there and the others are a lot younger. But it's really kind of the Golden Girls put in Cleveland.
Good
Wh-
point. Good point.
who brought that
You,
up? It's my
I
turn.
did. Yeah, did we forget already, Lily? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, okay. Well, I'm running out of stuff here. I just want to I know there was something I was going to talk. There's just so much going on. Ukraine, and it's horrible. And, I was saying boycott Sochi before because of the gay stuff. And I said Putin is a dictator and a thug. And so I hope, I don't want to piss anybody off, but all my friends who were digging the Olympics, man, I hope you're happy now. Because he knew what he was going to do. Well, I think he knew what he was going to do before the Olympics. He just waited
You
till they
named
were
it.
over. So I hope you enjoyed it. I didn't watch the damn things. So
I
I
know.
was on the right side of history, baby. Let me tell you.
You need to drink that tea. What are you drinking there?
It's vitamin water, something like that. Life water, no calories. I've lost
Well, you
13 pounds. Lean Chefs, I got to plug them, man. They're
also.
really, really nice folks and good to us. And it's called Lean Chefs. They're out of Brooklyn. They deliver the food. We're only doing it 3 days a week, but boy, I love it. Frank loves it. I've lost 13 pounds, and I love not cooking for 3 days a week. It's so nice. I don't have
Yeah, you
any.
know
I don't have
what? You
any.
think the extra time you have on your what?
I was gonna say maybe I could find a snaggletooth to bring in here and do the cooking. Do you
Hey,
like
there's a
that?
woman selling her what?
Do you like that term, snaggletooth?
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Can you tell him that? There's a
Yeah,
woman. There's
that's gonna be our
speaking of
new.
snake
That's gonna
teeth.
be our new
There's
website
a woman.
when I go into retire LGBT senior and then bring it back again, it's going to be snaggletooth.com. Okay,
It's a catchy word. Let's see if it's available while we're talking. Would you? Let's see
yeah.
if it's available. Go on Google while I'm talking. Okay. Can I talk?
You can talk, but I can't. I don't want to screw up. I mean, Fred's already really messing up this podcast, so I'm going to leave it. I'm
He
going to
really
just
is not happy with me.
no,
No?
no. He's it's your he's pissed at. He's really screwing up your video. But let's do some final
Well,
topics.
he'll like this subject. 27-year-old woman in America, med student, wants to make money to finish her med career and pay it all off when she's done. She graduates or something in April. So April 1st is the day of the sale. She is selling her virginity on the internet for 400. She's thinking she'll bring $400,000 for her virginity. 5'10", 130 pounds, blonde. Uses a fake name. I don't remember what it is. April or something. It's Elizabeth something. Elizabeth Rainwater or something. She's using a company out of Australia which knows how to handle these kind of sales, and it can be legal. Like in America, you can do it, but over there you could. So she's got an attorney handling it. $400,000 she thinks she's going to make for selling her virginity.
How old is she?
27. Why are you interested? You putting in a bid?
No, I'm just like I gave mine away. I didn't know you could make money on it. But I was a lot younger. I was about half her age.
Well, you might want to put it up and get it back if someone pays you to give it back.
I don't think I could fake it. They have ways of telling.
You think so? I'm not sure.
Yes, I'm not going to explain that one. But I got one last thing, and it has to do with passions and all that stuff. I'm Maidmark Publishing is happening slowly, and I realized this morning that I love doing it. I love corresponding with the writers who are submitting for the collection we're doing. I love the fact that I'm going to put out my sister's columns, and my next mystery is coming out under Maidmark Publishing. And it fits so well with my passion for writing, which is my first passion. And I just love doing it. And I was telling you, it's a side thing. I'm not looking to make a living off of this, certainly not at this point, and I probably never will. But it's a great thing to know that I can do until I'm old and grayer and just love and have a passion for it, because I've been not floundering, but I've done LGBT Senior for 3 years. That's going to keep going. But Maidmark Media, I was like, do I want to do people's websites? What is it? And then now, finally, it's crystallized for me. And I love doing it, and I can't wait to see what comes of it. And also at my job, I've decided to just stop wanting to be where I'm not. I have a good job. The benefits are really good. Am I thrilled with it? No, I never will be. But it's time for me to just relax into it and do the things I love doing and not have to worry about, how am I going to pay for anything, pay the housing and all this other stuff. So that's where I'm at. I've been in the best place I've been in this week. And last week I was really bad. I was like, everything I'm doing is horrible. It's a joke. I can't take this anymore. This week I'm loving it, and this is where I want to stay.
Yeah, you were almost jumping off the George Washington Bridge. Should it be open? But you didn't. You held it together, and
Well,
I agree with you.
Christie
The way
closed it. What are you talking about? Christie closed it. I can't jump off that bridge.
I know you can't jump when a Republican closes a bridge, for God's sakes. But I'm living the pubicle life too now, as you know.
The pubicle life?
They only have a pubicle. Oh, I mean
pubicle life?
Cubicle.
Okay. See, the videos, the audio, it's funky, man.
No, I really did say pubicle for effect, and it worked. I got you, didn't I?
You did. I did a double take.
Anyway, but I thought, you know what? They only really own me, besides my urine, which I've talked about on here before, for blood testing or whatever they do. Urine and blood aren't the same, but, for drug testing. They only have me Monday through Friday. You know what? I have 2 glorious days on the weekend that I can go and enjoy friendships and sunshine and puppy dogs and ice cream cones, and that's it. So I'm with you. It's pretty good. Anyway, just fixing my hair this morning.
Fortunately, it's hard to tell. No, I don't mean you don't have any hair. I mean the pixelation, Rick. You're gonna see when I put this up, because we do this. It's a one-take show. We don't do double takes. There's no green screen. I've talked about that before, and then I'm gonna shut up. But I like the punk ethos. I like the fact that we said we're just doing this. No studio, any of this shit. Just do a fun show. Put it up there.
Gorilla Cafe B. Well, Fred and I, hopefully he just gets it over with now with this YouTube podcast, and we're done, because I don't want him haunting me today. But he doesn't have the power.
No, he's. What was the V word, by the way? You said you were going to say the B and the B for bigot.
Oh,
I'm a
I
guessing.
wanted to use, well,
What?
the B was big. The B was vagina, BJJ.
Oh, I thought so.
No, I was gonna. Well, it kind of ties in with your last comment, and I'll end it on this. This week or last week, I went to see Dan Savage. He was in town speaking at our local college, Centenary College, and brilliant. I mean, he was on Theraflu, wasn't feeling well for his travels, but spoke for 2 hours. Talked a lot about vaginal sex. Talked a lot about secretion. I didn't know he was a sex therapist. I only know him from his more political, opinions. And anyway, I'll save the comment for next week's Cafe B, which we might just call Cafe V next week in honor of it. But bright
Okay.
man, and how it ties in with you, Mark, is that I see you doing that someday. I mean, you're doing the things you're passionate about, but someday I see you out there speaking at schools and delivering messages, and maybe a a book tour for you, or not just you, but for those that you're publishing. And yeah. So what's Dan Savage got that Mark McNease doesn't have? I really thought that when I was sitting there, but
Well, thank you.
brilliant time with him for sure.
I wouldn't mind. Today I was thinking maybe someday I'll just try doing a writer's workshop at Sage, and not charge just for the older folks, because I think that I think I'm getting pretty good. I know what I'm doing with mystery writing, and might be a fun thing to do. With Savage, he's been writing a sex column for years.
Yeah, I didn't know that's really how he got his start. I only know him from his political commentary, but very
And on
poignant, very good.
Yes,
Michigan. Just saying, big
okay,
news today.
okay.
Michigan, you
What,
know,
marriage in Michigan? I
yeah.
don't know. I've been busy since four
Just
o'clock this morning.
turned over. I mean, Savage was talking. They asked him the question. They said his whole performance, by the way, was Q&A. And I know we got to wrap up on Cafe B. No more V talk, but to wrap up about the Q&A that he did. Get it? QAVB, playing like
Okay,
Words with
okay.
Friends or something live here. But anyway, he was saying, they said, did you ever, when do you think we'll see full gay marriage in the United States? He said, you asked me that question 10 years ago, and Mark, you and I talked about this a lot. He said, I don't think you'd ever have seen it if you asked me that question 10 years ago. Now, he said, I think you'll see it in 12 to 18 months. And we see it every day. We see things turned over, and the right side of history, as you referred to
Yes, and
earlier.
I will be so glad to live to see the day where we don't even talk about it anymore. I
Exactly.
really don't want to talk about it anymore. Now, on vaginal secretions, and I'll close with this. Be sure, no, really, Kathy's Health Listens with Kathy McNease. It's
Yes.
live now on Blog Talk Radio. And the next one I don't know what the topic is, but on April, I think it's April 13th. Don't quote me, but she and Terry Clark, our friend Terry Clark's gonna be on the show
Love
too.
them
But
both.
Kathy's gonna talk about sexual health for older women, and I know that they're very frank, honest people, so I know they're gonna talk about vaginal secretions and vaginal atrophy, which Kathy was talking about. So that's gonna be fascinating. We
Yep.
have no shyness about vaginas and penises and any of that stuff.
And not to take it away from the women, because I think it'll be a brilliant discussion, both brilliant, but I think we're pretty bright. Let's dedicate, this will really turn people off, Cafe B one week to male older sex. What do you think? You want to do it? We'll do it topless. You've always wanted to do that.
Well, we can. I will have to consider it because I don't want to get my personal life involved, but we can certainly I know yours is I think is more
Let's have
interesting.
stories about, yes, okay. Well, I'm glad to come back to everyone for listening to us.
Bye.
Bye.